Okay, welcome to our, you need to mute. I'll mute you. Welcome to our Bucky weekend call for the end of the month of May, May 30th or May 31st, depending on the continent that you're on. And we're in an exciting posture about to um, choose a book, it looks like. And it looks like it's up to us guys because, oh no, Leah's here too. She just went dark for a minute. Okay, good. So she's listening in as we start. Um, and I'm all excited because I've done a little bit more AI research. I took on a challenge with this whole thing because I wanted to get to know AI, and I actually created an account at Claude. And so I have Gemini, Google, Grok, and Claude. I didn't do ChatGPT analysis of the final three books, but I included the fourth book, Our Living Energies, that we're going to be doing on Wednesday, and just thought it would do an analysis. And I thought that's very interesting to help us go and have some great news about the Briggs Peak group and some exciting things to report. So I'm really looking forward to sharing what I learned with this AI. I think we're on a we're absolutely it's what like every human being gets to land on the moon if they want to pick up AI and go do something with it and make it be its friend. Try to be as friendly as possible with it. And I may be screwed up about that, but that's my premonition. I'm all excited about the next decade. Um, and so let's get started tonight. And then my plan is to review the AI summaries, at least one. I'm going to open it up, let you guys see the quick reports. And man, they generate fast, weeks worth of work in minutes. Unbelievable. So I'm all excited about it. Richard, we got hot yesterday or the day before, and now we got your rain. Did you have rain? Yeah, okay, good. How are you feeling? And what do you anticipate for today? And what shape are you in?
Well, I'm not quite in wet shape, but apparently it's going to happen tonight for most of the next week.
Ah,
And it was in 2013 we got the flood of a century and flooded out our entire city center part of Calgary and all kinds of river villages um, west into the mountains. So they have been warning us to be careful for major flooding, and so I'm hoping the dam sort of banking and reserves that they've worked on for the last 13 or 10 years is going to work. But yeah, so it's anyway, I'm looking to be in and out of the rain and be able to carry on this kind of dialogue. And and I'm also in really in anticipatory shape because I've now had direct contact or indirect through a colleague with the third author of the Looking Glass book, Jonathan
Halliday,
Alliday.
Halliday.
He's going to be in Calgary for 2 weeks or Southern Alberta for 2 weeks, and he's agreed to be the keynote speaker that I've been looking for my lecture series. And we've got some really exciting kind of ideas as to who else might be involved, what kind of purpose we are going to kind of signal to the university as to what they should be doing in the next 60 years, since this is their 60th anniversary. So I'm I'm on a high right now, and I hope it sort of stays there until we get it locked down. Um, and
When is your keynote address, Richard?
Pardon?
When is your keynote address?
Well, we're working on dates right now. We've selected two dates that will we think will work for him. September the 18th, which is a Friday, or September 21st, which is a Monday. And yeah, so it's um, I'm hoping to meet with university people now next week to sort of pin down their agreement with the dates that'll work for the university, and then pin down what kind of activity? Like, will it be just sort of a 1 hour lecture? Well, it would be an all-day event with a within the university and a public event maybe in the evening for everyone. Um, and there's some really great work that's starting to happen at the university in two areas. One is what's called the quantum city. They're really trying to evolve that whole area of science. And the other is transdisciplinary studies, where they're really trying to tear down the silos, or what Lynn Margulies used to say was academic apartheid, is the way universities were set up and operate. Uh, so we might be able to get a number of disciplines together in this particular event, and it's all going to be focused on the emerging science of wholeness. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for the possibilities. Yeah. Brad, how are you feeling, and what's your anticipation for this evening or tomorrow?
Thank you, Richard. It's quite exciting that you have the author in the nascent relationship with the author. Maybe it would be interesting to have him join the call for once or twice and talk directly to us about his book. That would be something. I did that once long time ago with Chris Martenson, who explained some stuff about the depletion of human resources on the planet. And I tried to get Nassim Nicholas Taleb of the Black Swan and Fooled by Randomness and Anti-Fragile to talk to us, but he doesn't talk to nobody. But he replied, he said, thank you for asking, but I'm not interested in these things. So I think that would be a wonderful thing. So don't do it too early. Probably you need to meet with him first for his keynote, do one thing at a time, and then pull him in little by little. But that would be wonderful to have that, because when you have the point of view of the author directly, it's another dimension in your understanding of the book. Yeah. So that would be wonderful. And with this, I feel in the shape of a keynote desk, something like that. There we go. So Lee, how are you feeling? And my expecting takeaways. Let's learn a little bit something. Lee, how are you feeling? What shape are you in? And what is your expected takeaway? You're muted.
My shape is wonderful. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear myself. I am looking forward to these new books, and Steve found extra books for tonight. Holy moly. It's going to be exciting to find out something that would be as interesting as what has been put forth to analyze maybe through AI. He's doing it really quickly. So I'm going to hand it over to him because of my excitement. That's all I got. Excitement. Steve, how do you feel? And what is your expectation from tonight?
Well, I feel excited. I shared a little bit when I started out here, I think before the recording.
You muted, Steve.
Yep.
I maybe shared a little bit before the recording, but I'm excited. And yeah, I've done a little investigation on with the AIs. Richard, I think it's a cheap ploy to get your book looking looking glass. That's a cheap, getting the author of the book to come and talk on our program it's a cheap ploy, just to get us to do your book. It's underhanded and but creative, I have to tell you. So no, I think it's wonderful. Just like Fred said, it's really good how everybody in our call is so connected in their vein. You're very connected. Anna's doing a great job. Each of us have our like our interest in what we're doing, and it really adds a lot. So I'm excited what you bring to the call. Um, Today I feel like a tesseract. That'd be my shape. I feel very four-dimensional, and my XYZ axes are going apeshit crazy around each other. I'm just rotating an absolute amazing thing. If you've ever seen a tesseract rotate on all four of its axes, it's just amazing. That's how I feel. I'm rotating on axes. I'm going to finish my welcome here. We got Manu who just joined us. Um, Manu, we're going to be reviewing some AI and descriptions of the candidate of our books. Anne is not going to make it tonight. Joe's going to be a little bit late. And we're excited that you're here. How are you feeling, and what do you anticipate out of tonight? Cool.
It feel good. This is I got from my god granddaughter. Let's just put it that way.
Wow.
And she did this for me. I'm quite happy about it. So that's the way I feel. I feel elated
How happy is she? I mean, how old
and
is she?
and grateful to be here.
How
So
old is she? How old is your granddaughter?
she's not my granddaughter, but she is my, like I've just made her my granddaughter.
Cool.
She's 5.
Oh, wow. I thought you drew those pictures, Manu.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, she signed.
yeah,
Elaine,
wonderful.
Elaine Jacobs.
Wow, cool.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. So back to you, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good, and I do have some things to share. So, I, and if you're not interested, and if we don't want to do this part of it, to me, this has been a great week. I've spent probably only an hour and a half, 2 hours, and done like 6 weeks worth of research in the hour and a half or 2 hours on AI. One of the things I obtained is I asked Claude, Grok, and Gemini what their mission statement and value proposition was. I got some interesting answers. I then asked them, I gave them the original problem. I just said, hey, we're studying this kind of thing. What kind of books do you think we should have? Got a whole bunch of different books, which I don't think we want to take time to look at right now because we really have some good books on target. But I'm happy to share those AI reports. And then I went and said, okay, our group has selected 4 books. I included our Living Energies book for Wednesday just to see what they said about it. We got 4 books that we've focused on. What do you think of these books and how they fit? And what I found was in every case, the AI was flattering. Oh, an excellent choice of books. It's like I could see the bubble happening, right? And there were some other things where it said, "Oh, that's a good comment," or something like that. Like it's flattering me and encouraging me. I guess encouraging me to stay in the game with it, and that was really kind of cool. And then I proposed I gave them the books. This is what was really interesting, and we can do anything we want. I've got summaries from as I said, Gemini, Grok, and Claude. It's interesting that when I put into, oh, I guess I need to look at it now because I've got so much stuff here. I'm not sure what it was. When I put when I gave of the 4 books that we're doing, which are, see, and this is where I just if I don't get prepared, I'm in bad shape. Here's the Gemini mission statement. I haven't printed out the Claude. Here's the Grok mission statement. This is the Gemini book list. And what was interesting, this is Google. And so what they do is they put a little picture when they can by the little thing. So Google is the first of them. Gemini was the first to add any graphics. It didn't do it on all of them, but it gave us a list of books that we may want to consider. And then I said, well, our group has already decided on these 4 books. What do you think of these? And here's the Gemini list. And when I said, what year is the Pete book? The Pete and Biggs book. And interestingly, Claude gave me the 1986 or whatever one it was. And I said, hey, are you aware there's a new book? Claude says, nope, I'm not aware of any new book. I want to be honest with you. I don't want to feed you. I don't want to make stuff up. So there's no new book, which is really interesting. When I asked that of Google, it came back and said, oh boy, this is, I did the reports. Now what I need to do is sit down and, oh, here's page 9 and 10. Good. This is the one. Looking as, I should probably just slow down and breathe. But anyway, Grok said, wow, you're right. There is a new version, and gave me an amazing update of what the new book is about, and the fact that Holiday, or whatever his name is, I thought it was Holiday, was
all day, like all day sucker or
all day sucker, that he was a contributor to the book, and he's added a whole bunch of stuff, and that is really cool. So I guess what I can do is I can show you them. What do you guys, what are you interested there? I can show you each of the summaries, or I can just show you the most Grok's eloquent exposition on the new edition of Looking Glass. Where do you guys think you want to start?
I think we have to start with going about the 4 books that we had.
Yeah.
Since you have new prompts now and they were enriched, let's discuss those, and maybe we'll land on something.
Do you want to just focus on the 4 that we've chosen, or do you want to see what other books have been suggested? I think
no interest in any other book. We have a short
let's
list.
focus on our 4, right? Okay,
Yes.
good. And I say 4 just because I thought, well, we might as well, since we chose Living Waters or Living Energies for our book on Wednesday, I just thought it would be nice to take a look at it. So I have one little bit of housekeeping here. This is the Claude mission statement and value proposition. If I spelled that right, I hope I did. I can't see it because I've got my. You have a double O. That's okay. It'll work. Perfection is nice. You can't save in this location. Okay, good. Downloads. Okay, now it'll save. Okay, good. I have my mission statements.
It's too small.
What I thought was really interesting, what I'm very excited about, and the thing that's distracting me is the explanation of the new Briggs book. So this is from Claude. I actually haven't read through the Claude one. I decided I got it in 10 minutes before this call, and okay, here we go. This is the Gemini analysis. So I said to Gemini, considering that you have updated your analysis and summary of Looking Glass, let me see what it did here. You cited Looking Glass by Briggs. Are you aware that there's a revised edition published in May of 2026? Please give me an overview of this book. This is so funny because here's the overview. It's like one paragraph. Let me make this bigger for you. It's like one paragraph.
Okay, can we read it like we do the
we can
the
do
usual things?
Okay.
Do you like me to read it?
Edition, I'll go ahead and read
Okay.
through it.
Okay, please.
If that's okay.
Yeah, please.
The 2026 revised edition of Looking Glass by Briggs and Pete, updated by Dr. John Alday, bridges original concepts of wholeness with modern advances in quantum gravity, information theory, complex systems. Published by Perry, this edition updates a 40-year-old theories with contemporary science, moving from speculative chaos theory to practical applications in networked interdependence and quantum architecture. For more details on the updates, visit the publisher. And then I said, well, please outline the updates. And then the stupid thing said, the 2026 revision of Looking Glass Universe by Briggs and Pete updates the 1980s foundational text to reflect 40 years of scientific progress. So it basically says the same damn thing. Then I said, can you give me an outline of the changes and updates? And it says, Pete's 1980s theories by integrating modern breakthroughs in physics, neuroscience, complex systems, largely reviewed by Dr. Jonathan Holliday to bridge foundational concepts with current empirical data, key enhancements, including a deeper exploration of David Bohm's implicate order, updated original artwork by Lucinda Tavernes to illustrate nonlinear relationships and expanded coverage of interdisciplinary interactions between consciousness and matter. So, and I had to kick it in the shins to make it do that. When I asked Grok, let me see. I did ask this program to prioritize. I asked it to give me the years published because it left it out. Summary for your group strategy. Now, this is Gemini. Programming the universe first to understand how information physically constructs reality. Then read regenerative economics second to see how these living informational systems are mapped into human organizations and planetary resources. Then use Looking Glass Universe as a philosophical baseline when you need to unpack complex systems vocabulary. Yeah, go ahead, Fred. Thank you.
I agree with this analysis, except that we can skip the economics.
Except we can skip the economics. Okay. Thank you for your input. I said, please provide, you're published. And then I said, I think what I did was I asked him, I said, after you've given the updates, consider that you've updated your analysis and your summary of Looking Glass. This is Gemini. How would you prioritize my list for study? It says Looking Glass Universe first. Then it says Program the Universe. Then it says Regenerative Economics, then Living Energies last. So that's the way Gemini put the 4 books together. I'm going to switch to Claude. Any discussion on this before we go? Okay. This is Claude's mission statement.
Just, I was on mute, but just a quick comment.
Okay.
It's interesting that they stayed with your information that it was published in 2026, which is not quite correct. It was 2025. And they seem to say that it was all about Alday's sort of update. But
Right.
my understanding of what they did was that Pete, of course, is not alive, but Briggs is. And it was Briggs and Alday, I think, that really put it together. So it's interesting that they don't have that information in terms of how the book really was written. And the other thing that's interesting, because of the different sort of scientists, writers that's covered in this book, you might have thought that they would have picked that up somewhere along the line and told you some of the names of the people that were being covered in the book.
Yeah. Well, wait till you see Grok's.
Yeah.
Grok has an amazing breakout on the new book. This is here's the books I gave them, our list of 4. Please evaluate this list of books and evaluation, and it does not do it in order. It says our strongest and most timely.
It's too small, Steve.
We could read the whole thing, I suppose, huh? What were you going to say, Fred?
It's too small.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to make it bigger now. We'll just read the evaluation of the 4 books from um, Claude.
Thank you.
Here we go. Living Energies, strong choice with caveats. See how it's complementary? Interesting. Coates' work centers on Victor Schauberger's insights into nature, pivoting on water as living, pulsating substance that energizes all life, and his groundbreaking concepts on energy, biomagnetism, and true function of trees. Above all, Schauberger demonstrated how nature's abundance is the result of a complex interaction of energies that actually create matter. For him, energy was primarily and physically form the secondary effect. For him, energy was primary and physical form the secondary effect. The fuller connection is genuine and deep. Schauberger has was independently working on implosion, vortex dynamics, nature as teacher around the same time Fuller was developing synergetics, 2 parallel strands on the same instinct. The book is dense and rewards study rather than casual reading. The caveat is important. Schauberger's ideas on water energetics and subtle energies sit at the edge of mainstream physics. Most of his observational work on vortex flow is real and fascinating. Some of the interpretive framework is not experimentally reproducible. Treat it as philosophically and heuristically rich rather than an established science, and it's an excellent complement to your Fuller studies. Looking Glass Universe. Good foundational text, but significantly dated, you see, but I'm going to ask for the update in just a minute. So this book covers Bohm's implicate order, and it's called Prigoghine's dissipative structures, Sheldrake's morphogenetic fields, and the holographic model of reality, all themes that resonate strongly with Fuller's comprehensivism and systems thinking. F. David Peat was actually a close collaborator with David Bohm, so the treatment on Bohm's ideas is in particular authoritative and intimate. However, this book is now over 40 years old and is a landmark popularization of wholeness physics in its time. But much of what it introduced as emerging is now either mainstream, and this is where Prigoghine's work earned a Nobel Prize in 1977, significantly advanced, or in some cases, Sheldrake's morphic resonance, still unverified and controversial in scientific community. One contemporary reviewer found it disappointing, noting that it deals with scientific ideas on the fringe of respectability, including Bohm's wholeness and Sheldrake's formative causation, without sufficiently distinguishing among them. And gee, notice it actually gives a little source here. For your group's purpose, it works as a historical context, but you'd benefit from pairing it with some more current of Bohm's implicate order. His own wholeness and implicate order, 1980, remains the better primary source, and Karen Baraday's Meeting with the Universe Halfway, 2007, represents what that line of thinking has developed in physics philosophy. Programming the Universe, Seth Lloyd. You guys can raise hand or comment anytime. Okay, Programming the Universe, Seth Lloyd. Note, the author's name is Seth Lloyd, not Seth Logan. Yeah, sorry. Worth double checking your copy. Lloyd argues that all interactions between particles in the universe convey not only energy, but also information. Particles not only collide, they compute. And that is the universal computation. And that as this universal computation proceeds, reality unfolds. Gee, it sounds a lot like Stephen Wolfram, doesn't it? It traces the history of information processing from the Big Bang to the present day and reveals how the computational ability of the universe promotes the evolution of complex structures such as life. This is the most rigorous and scientifically current of your 4 selections. The quantum information framework Lloyd develops has only become more central to physics since 2006. It underlies much of today's work on black hole thermodynamics, quantum gravity, and emergence. Endorsers include Nobel laureate Frank Wilczek, who praised it for unifying physics, information, mechanics, and complexity. The Fuller connection is oblique but real. Lloyd's computational universe is a deeply synergetic one, information as the primary substance from which structure and complexity arise. This pairs well with synergetics philosophy and with the tensegrity structural physics literature scientifically. Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, I want to add that from what I understand about information theory, everything boils down nowadays to information theory. Every single science is boiled down into information theory. So this becomes a foundational, and the understanding of a little bit of information theory becomes foundational in our understanding of all science and the universe. I want to add that.
Yeah.
And as regards to what's the name of the book? LG, the Looking Glass. The Looking Glass. Looking Glass
yeah.
is more, I mean, the programming the universe is more fundamental. It's solid physics is something that that we can rely on. The Looking Glass is more interpretation of those physics and what does it mean for us and how this could impact our way of thinking, our feelings, it's more speculative a little bit. It's but it's a very interesting book also. I think both in sequence, and I think first programming, then Looking Glass, as the first AI said, it would be extremely rich for us. And that.
So make your last statement again, Fred, so I make sure I understand what
I say both books in sequence would be extremely rich for us for pushing the whole group toward a better understanding.
Reading programming first, and then reading Looking Glass second.
I said in sequence. One of the AI suggested one first, the other one suggested the other one first. Yeah. My opinion is first go to fundamentals, then to interpretation.
Yeah,
but it's my opinion.
Yeah, that's logical, and that's a good opinion.
Thank you.
For comments? We'll hold that because we're gonna, when Grok goes after it, we're gonna see what that says.
Yep.
All right, regenerative economics. Your strongest and most timely selection. This is from Claude. Fullerton is considered the architect of regenerative economics. Founded the Capital Institute in 2010. That's how I got to know this guy. When he formed his group, I was, and I'm sure Richard, you were in on that too. He formed this funding company that started putting money behind Fuller's, ideas that technologies that conform to Fuller's ideas, and so that's what his Capital Institute is all about. And the book is based on the deceptively simple idea that an economic system should emulate the process and patterns that define all life. It moves beyond sustainability, circularity, and degrowth toward whole system health, and explains regenerative design principles rooted in living systems. This is essentially Fuller's world game and comprehensive anticipatory design science applied to economics with contemporary rigor. It explicitly draws on Donella Meadows' complexity theory and living systems science. Fullerton's framework includes 8 living systems, design principles, and articulates the need to shift from reductionist thinking towards reimagining economics as complex living systems, reimagining economies as complex living systems. It was published in late 24-25, making it the most current item on your list. Overall assessment, Fullerton excellent, Lloyd excellent, Coates rich and stimulating, Briggs and Pete valuable historical foundation but needs updating. And then you cited Looking Glass. Are you aware there's a revised published in 2026? That's an important question to verify before answering. Let me search for this. Searching the web, searching the web. I have to be straight with you. I can find no evidence of a 2026 revised edition of Looking Glass Universe. Everything I can locate points to an original 1984-85 editions, and there's no new edition appearing in any bookseller, library catalog, or publisher's announcement. There's also a meaningful practical reason this seems unlikely. David Pete died in 2011, so any new edition would have to be revised by Briggs alone or by an editor, which would typically generate some announcement trail, and there is none I can find. I want to be clear only about why I'm telling you this rather than just describing a revised edition. If I were to invent content about a book that doesn't exist, new chapters, updated framework, revised positions, I would be fabricating information, presenting it as fact. That would be a disservice to you and your study group, especially on the topic you're taking seriously. It's possible you encountered a reference to a reprint, a foreign edition, or perhaps a different book with a similar title. If you have a source for the 2026 edition, a publisher's page, a book selling list, or wherever you saw it mentioned, I'm happy to look at it directly and verify. Or if you'd like, I can suggest that an updated edition would ideally need to be addressed given where the science has gone since 1984. That I can do honestly. Now, what I'd love to do, I still have this Claude chat open, Richard. If you put in the type the publishing information, I'll give it to Claude and see what the heck they do with it.
Okay.
Any comments about that? Any further comments? Okay, so that is Claude. We did Gemini already, right? All right, so the next thing we're looking for now is Grok. Okay. This was Grok gave me a list of books, and then I said, before this chat, I had selected 3 books for my study. Here they are, and I listed all 4. And then it says, here's the evaluation. Here's my evaluation of your selected books using the same criteria as before. Relevance to Buckminster Fuller's core ideas, tensegrity, synergetics, geodesic domes, Dymaxion principles, world game, comprehensivism, comprehensive thinking, and system thinking, and how to best organize elements and interrelationships and whole systems in physics, nature, and organizational engineering context. Living energies. As an exposition of concepts related to theories by Victor Schauberger. Oh, relevance. High, medium to high for systems thinking and natural patterns. Indirect connection to Fuller. Strengths. This book explores Victor Schauberger's observations of natural energy flows, implosion technology, water vortices, and living systems. It emphasizes working with nature's processes rather than against them, which align well with Fuller's emphasis on understanding how the universe naturally works and designing accordingly, e.g., ephemeralization, doing more with less. Good for comprehensive study of energy, organization, and interrelationships in biological and physical systems. Limitations. Focuses more on Schellenberger's vortex implementations, more on Schauberger's vortex implementations than on geometric structural principles like tensegrity or synergetics. Less direct on organizational engineering or global systems like World Game. Best for your group as a complementary read on natural system thinking and regenerative energy flows. Looking Glass, and it actually gave the date of 1984. Relevance. High for systems thinking, wholeness, and here comes Joe, comprehensivism. Strengths, explores chaos theory, quantum physics, holography, and shift from mechanistic to holistic worldviews. It discusses self-organization, interconnectedness, and science of wholeness, themes that resonate strongly with Fuller's synergetics, geometry of thinking. and his critique of specialized fragmented education. Excellent bridge between physics and philosophical systems thinking. Limitations. Older book, pre-many modern complexity developments, and lighter on specific engineering applications like tensegrity structures or economic organization. Best for your group. Strong match for comprehensivism and understanding interrelationships through emerging wholeness. Fred. Whoop, you're muted, Fred. And by the way, Joe has
The
joined
group,
us. So after you
the
share,
group,
we'll have you
the yeah, I passed it on to Joe just afterwards. That book was published in 1984. Gleig's book on chaos theory, on chaos, was written in 1989, as I remember. I don't know how this book can talk about chaos before chaos was even published. I don't
right.
know.
And remember, this book's been updated.
It seems strange to me.
Yeah.
But that's more critic of the AI than anything else. Yes.
Right. And when it updates, you'll see how I challenge it and what it responds and how it responds.
Yeah, in any case, it's been updated, so it's up to date now. But okay, that's what I wanted to say.
And
Joe, how are you feeling? What's your desired takeaway, and what shape are you in today?
Richard, I got your post on the information. I'll stuff it into Claude right now. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to having, kind of, having a discussion about the books, some of which we actually discussed, obviously on Wednesday. I had a little bit, I'm torn. I really am, specifically between the Looking Glass, which is something that, Douglas Hofstadter, often talks about, as well as then John Fullerton's regenerative approach, both of which I'm looking to learn a lot more about. So it's a tough call. So my expectation is to really just to hear everybody's perspectives, and obviously, we can get to some kind of agreement what would be best. It's also about doing what's best, for the group as well. So, yeah, I'm feeling okay. I got a little bit of headache, and but other than that, I had a wonderful evening, and a wonderful day. So I'm just a little bit run down, but I'm feeling great in some ways, spiritually anyway. So I'm complete.
Cool. I'm taking a moment. I'll do it. I was gonna let me take a moment on everybody's time here. I'm sorry to say. I plugged the information about the publishing into Claude, and I guess I can plug it in later. And it's probably good that we see. I'm a little bit confused right now. We should probably finish Grok's analysis, and then we'll come back and look at how Claude amends its statements. That's Gemini. That's Grok. We were reading Grok, right? Okay. And we left off with, I think we read programming here, right? I'm sorry, I'm so disorganized.
So we
just read this 1984 thing. Now we're about to read Programming the Universe. Go ahead, Joe.
You need to share it.
I was gonna mention what you just said. So.
Okay, good. I'm going to share it now, Fred. Thank you.
Yes, please.
From Grok. Okay, here we go. Programming. I just hate page breaks, and I could do it this way. Huh. Guess I can't do it that way. So I'll do it this way. Okay, Programming the Universe, Quantum Computer Scientist takes on the cosmos. Relevance, medium for physics systems foundations, more tangential to Fuller's practical design philosophy. Strengths, presents the universe as a giant quantum computer where information and computation underlie physical reality. This connects to ideas of fundamental patterns, emergence, and how the universe organizes itself, which can support synergetics and systems thinking at the most basic level. Limitations, quite abstract and focused on quantum information theory. It has weaker direct links to tensegrity, geodesic structures, organizational engineering, and generative global design compared to other books. Best for your group, useful as a modern physics perspective on how things fundamentally work, but may feel less immediately applicable than others. Regenerative economics. Relevance high for organizational engineering, systems thinking, and comprehensivism. Strengths directly frames the economy as a living system and draws on universal patterns from nature for redesign. It emphasizes regeneration, holistic principles, self-organization, and moving beyond extractive models, very aligned with Fuller's anticipatory design, world game resource management, and comprehensive thinking for planetary scale problems. One of the strongest modern bridges to Fuller's philosophies in the economic organizational domain. Limitations. Newer book, just published in 2025, so less tested in study groups, more focused on economics than physical structures like tensegrity or domes. Best for your group, excellent contemporary application of systems, comprehensivist thinking to real-world organization and global challenges. Overall assessment of your list. Now, again, this is before it gave me an update on Looking Glass. Strengths. Overall evaluation of assessment of your list. Strengths. Good balance between natural physical systems, Coates, holistic science, Briggs and Peat, fundamental physics, Lloyd, and applied organizational systems, Fullerton. It leans strongly into systems thinking and wholeness, which is a core to Fuller's comprehensivism. Gaps, relatively light on tensegrity structures, geometric synergetics, and engineering specifics, geodesics and Dymaxion. You might want more technically oriented book, e.g. the 2025 Obara tensegrity book I mentioned earlier, to round it out. Okay, good. Suggested reading order for your group: Looking Glass Universe, Living Energies, Programming the Universe, Regenerative Economics. This is a solid, thoughtful collection overall, especially with the very current regenerative economics. Would you like me to suggest how to connect, create discussions, compare directly, recommend one or two additionals to fill in the gaps? Then what I did was I said, you cited Looking Glass Universe by Briggs and Peat. Are you aware that the revised edition was published in May 26? Please give me my overview. Please give me an overview of the updates of that version. Now, this is interesting because you told me, Richard, that it was published in 2025, which is interesting. Yes, you're correct. A revised new edition of Looking Glass Universe, The Emerging Science of Wholeness by Briggs and Peat was published in May 26, very recently, just weeks ago as of today. Overview of the updates. This new edition is updated and expanded by physicist Jonathan Alday, PhD. Alday is a respected physicist known for his work in particle physics and making complex science accessible. Key changes in the 2026 edition. 40-year update on scientific progress. Alday reviews how science has evolved since the original 1984 publication. He examines developments in physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology, and neurophysiology over the past 4 decades. Progress toward Looking Glass view. He specifically assesses how much closer, or not, modern science has come to the core wholeness ideas presented in the book. Concepts like the universe as a holistic system, where each part is the whole. Observer participancy, self-organization, and the integration of consciousness/reality. Textual updates. Portion of the original content has been revised or supplemented to align with current scientific understanding. correcting or contextualizing older references while preserving the spirit and accessible style of Briggs and Pete's writing. New material by Alday. He adds commentary and bridging sections that connect original revolutionary ideas, chaos theory, quantum non-locality, holography, Prigoghine's dissipative structures, Bohm's implicate order, etc., to 21st century advancements. The core narrative, lively, non-technical explorations of scientists who challenge the mechanistic worldview, remains intact, but now includes a contemporary lens. This makes the 2026 edition particularly valuable for a group study of comprehensivism and systems thinking, as it bridges the 1980s emergent science of wholeness directly to today's understanding. Would you like me to compare the new edition with specifically to the original, suggest which chapters or themes are most up to date, help integrate this with your other selected books? And that's the story. Gee, I've read a lot of stuff. I'm presenting a lot of stuff. I'm open for, I don't see any hands raised. I'm open for any feedback or suggestions at this juncture. Joe.
I mean, I guess one place to start, in my opinion, is, what does the group really think the best next step is? And also keeping in mind the Wednesday group in that process.
Yeah.
I mean, that for me, I can go either way. I think that the practicality of regenerative economics is very attractive to me. That's something that I want to learn, and learning it with a group would be, I find to be, a privilege. I'll just say that. Through the looking glass is another area that I'm very, very interested in, and thinking in terms of wholeness, as well as in terms of the observer effect, and it seems like that it is an accessible text when you're talking about wholeness and the nature of the universe. But I guess I guess the question I would pose, I mean, I'm not opposed to either, obviously, is what does the group think that would be the best thing to, what is the most important next step for them? And not only what the most important next step is, how does maybe this connect to Wednesday? Because one of the things that I really did appreciate is how cosmometry and Amy's book did have there was a relationship between those two often, or at least we could connect them. And so that's something else to consider, is that the connection between what we're studying on Wednesday and what we're studying on Saturday. I don't know. So more or less, it would be interesting to hear what the group has to say as far as what they think would be the best use of our time over the next however long we have to go.
Right on. Thank you, Joe, for your comments. I heard you say that you thought regenerative economics would be really cool, and that Through the Looking Glass might be next, and you're very interested in what the group has to say about it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think that what I'll do is, I got the Claude went and found the new book, and I thought it might be good to read that summary too, because it's multiple paragraphs and it's looking pretty good. I have some thoughts too, and I'm sure we all do. Joe, as far as I'm concerned, what the group thinks depends on what each of us think, and I think as we share our individual thoughts, that'll help us gain a consensus a little bit more. Here is Looking Glass Universe, new edition 2025, And then it goes off and gives the publisher and everything right here. So Claude went out. Of course, I didn't give this specific information to anybody else, but that's the only way Claude found the book, because Claude didn't even know this was there.
Wow.
What this edition is, this new edition was updated by physicist John Alliday, PhD, who fills readers in on how science has evolved in 40 years since Looking Glass Universe first appeared in 1984, reviewing progress toward a looking glass view of the universe and updating aspects of the text in line with current scientific thinking. The original text by Briggs and Peat is retained as the foundation, while Alliday contributions woven in as the contemporary science lens. It is fully illustrated with original drawings by Lucinda Tarvernese. Note you had the illustrator's name wrong. The publisher spells it this much, worth verifying in your copy. Isn't that cool? I love that. I've always looked for a secretary, somebody who could correct my little dumb things. The core argument updated. The looking glass theories propose that we are living in an Alice in Wonderland universe where each part is in fact the whole, where scientists conducting an experiment are themselves the experiment, and even inanimate objects contain consciousness. Theories that give scientific meaning to the ancient mystical idea that the universe is one. With Alday, what Alday brings to this is a 40-year accounting of where that proposition has landed in actual physics. The companion seminar series illuminates the updates. Perry Center ran a 6-session series in March of 2025, timed to the book's release, with Briggs and Alday both presenting. The sessions were Looking Glass Universe, Alday Briggs, David Bohm, Alday, and Parvati. Objectivity, the mythical border between science and scientists, Jeff Dune, and then some French, I think, or Spanish. Fred, can you read that? Manu, can you read that? Et pour si mauve. The sudden and persistent vortex of Prigogine, and their descendants, Vasilios Bazios, Heisenberg's potentia toward a theory of consciousness, Stuart Kaufman, and the Tao of emotional science, Catherine Peel Kaufman.
I'm glad you read that paragraph.
Yeah, no kidding. The session lineup is itself a roadmap to the book's updated concerns. Bohm's implicate order, Pergogin's dissipative structures, dissipative structures, the observer participation problem, quantum consciousness, and the emotional sentient dimensions of living systems. These are exactly the threads of the original book introduced that have matured most substantially since 1984. What this means for your evaluation. This substantially updates my earlier assessment. Rather than a dated 1984 text needing replacement, you now have the original visionary framework paired with qualified physicists accounting of where 40 years of research has taken each of these central ideas. The involvement of Stuart Kaufman, one of the leading complexity theorists alive, in the launch seminar signals that the updated edition is being taken seriously in current scientific circles, not just by enthusiasts. It is now one of the stronger choices of your combined list, and pairs very naturally with the Theis notes on complexity and Lloyd programming the universe. Now that's profound. So I'll save that and put that in the document. And I have a bunch of thoughts rambling through my head, but I do have a comment on what Joe said and what I'm thinking here. and I must be a big proponent of chaos theory because I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I think.
And you got a secretary note too from Fred. It's here's
Oh,
your
really?
secretary.
Okay, good. Um, should I look at that before I comment? No, I'm going to go ahead and comment and make a double fool out of myself. Oh, there's a good. Here's your secretary. Really good. Yeah, 31 years. Yeah, perfect. Okay, you guys. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that listen, the work Stephen Wolfram is doing on computational information, and I mean Stephen Wolfram has using his automata and his simple ruliad of simple rules, computative rules for universe, he's actually created a simulation where black holes form. I mean, Stephen Wolfram's done some amazing stuff, and it looks to me like programming the universe and this whole thing about information theory is profound in terms of a really another way to look at this. And here's what I'm thinking. I really love the looking glass thing. And I really love living energies. But my thought is we should come back to Wednesday morning meeting, talk to Wayne and Susan who weren't there, see if we want to throw in the looking glass, new looking glass book on our Wednesday morning, do living energies later, as interested I am in hydraulics and stuff. And that way we'd have a Wednesday morning meeting, and the chance of holiday coming on our Wednesday morning meeting might be better than a Saturday night late at 11 o'clock. So I'm all for like proposing we do a looking glass on Wednesdays. And then I would really like to I think information theory is profoundly foundational. And I also believe that the regenerative universe, the regenerative economics, that's a book that's easy to read. And it might have some political ramifications that we could discuss, but it's not foundational. And I think programming the universe or looking glass is foundational. And I think living energy is foundational. But I propose we come back to Wednesday, put looking glass on Wednesday morning, get Holiday to come at the beginning and the middle and the end, and maybe start our session by trying to find those workshops the publisher presented, where we actually present those, try to see those workshops those guys presented in that introductory series. And that might be a profound introduction to actually reading that book. And Wednesday morning might be the day to do that. Living Energies is going to be there next year. Holiday is here today, and he's ready to promote that freaking book. And I think foundational information theory is profound on a Saturday night. It's technical, like synergetics, like Amy Fuller. And that's my crazy proposition. I'm open for any feedback. Manu has his hand up. So,
I like the thinking out of the box there.
well,
That's thank you for that.
I told you I was big on chaos theory. Okay, good. Manu, Manu, your hand is up. Go for it.
Okay. So while I've tried to put those two books on a matrix where on the row you have the books.
Which two books, Manu?
The 4 books.
Oh, the 4 books.
Looking Glass, Regenerative
Okay.
Economics, Programming Universe, and
Okay.
Living Energies.
Okay.
And then I have on columns Wednesday and Saturday. And what I came up with, having in mind that, yes, the foundation, we've studied Bucky for so long. And having in mind those who come on Wednesdays and the core on Saturday, I think on Wednesday, 2 books, I will think that we can start with regenerative economics and then Looking Glass. Or the other order, I don't mind. On Saturday or on Sunday for me and Saturday for Steve, it is Programming Universe first, and then looking at Living Energies, if we can. That would be my proposition, having listened to the comments here. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And
The
you and I are,
living energy Has to be on Wednesday because of Susan,
Yeah,
I believe.
that's a good point, Fred. Manu, the point is that Susan would want to be on Living Energies, and that's a Wednesday morning conversation. But you and I are in agreement on programming the universe as a good book for Saturday,
Mm.
as a good technical.
To take care of Susan, because I really believe that regenerative economics is a good application. It's not strong fundamental, but it is really thinking about problems of today. And Living Energies on Wednesday as the first book, and well, I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It causes a little problems to me.
right.
Okay.
No, I love the input, Manu, and come back again with your next idea. I think this is good input. Anybody? Let's see, who's next? Nobody has a hand? Okay, so I want to be, go, Fred. Thank you for your hand, because
Already,
yeah,
I'm muted. I think we are on a diminishing return there. Based on what you, Steve, and Manu just said, we are about ready to make a decision. So let's make it.
You think we're ready to make a decision? Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
open
think so.
for reaching some kind of consensus. So based on, Fred, I'm going to assume I know what you want for Saturday night. It's programming the universe. I want program the universe for Saturday night. Manu said program the universe for Saturday night is really good. I'm going to repeat, and I'm sorry to repeat myself. I won't repeat myself again. I think the regenerative economic books is going to be, I don't need you guys to help me read that book. I want you guys to help me read something I don't understand. I get so much out of Manu's topological brain when we start going into 720 and 1440. Manu's perspective on it is so amazing to me. And so to me, regenerative economics is easy read. I don't need your help. I would like Manu's brain on programming the universe. And I think that's foundational and fundamental. How do you guys feel? Manu's got his hand up again, but let me ask, and Manu, if it's okay, you're muted, Manu. You're muted, Manu. Okay. Let me just ask you guys, what do you think about going back to Wednesday and putting Looking Glass on Wednesday with the chance of all day? You like that idea, with all day being there on the call, and then we can, and Living Energies we can do next. How do you guys
Yes,
feel about that? Fred
I
likes
love it.
that.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
like
think,
I love
Manu?
it.
I like that.
You like it too? Okay, good. I'm
I'm
good.
I'm feeling bad for Susan, but I love it.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
bad for Susan too, but I think to have Holiday, just the chance that in our year of reading, Holiday would show up,
Yeah,
and even if Holiday doesn't show up, with Richard's like dealing with the guy and inviting him to do his keynote address in
no,
September, the chance of the
that
guy
that
showing up is
that
huge.
that I completely disagree. Pressure is on Richard. It's either all day shows up every day, or you seppuku, or seppuku. Just cut your guts.
So, um,
Yeah, well, number one, I think it's a bit too speculative right now that Alday would be willing to um, come on our sessions. I also think that he could come on our session when he gets back home to England as well, and there could be a time that works for him and for us. Um, and and I really have um, my support on the original Wednesday sort of selection in terms of living energies and the importance of it being able to accommodate Susan's schedule and availability. Um, So and on the Saturday one, of course, I have uh, interest in the uh, Looking Glass book for a number of reasons. So I may be uh, biased or need to recuse myself, but I was looking at regenerative economics because I thought that it might um, lend to at least an example, an illustrated example, but not necessarily the one that we might be interested in, but it might trigger some interest in other applications along the line of what Manu's interest has been. Um, but hearing what's being said so far about programming universe, um, I'm I'm willing to defer to that particular emphasis or choice uh, for the reasons that are being articulated up to this point.
Okay. I just go ahead. I just ran that seminar series in the Claude and I got an answer on that. Fred, why don't you talk while I get that answer? You go ahead, Fred.
Okay, thank you. Programming universe and Briggs and the Looking Glass at the same time. It's probably there's a synergy in that. It works very well together.
Yeah. Let me read what it says about the series. What I said was to Claude. I said, can I access the companion seminar series? Let me check on what's currently available. Good news, recorded sessions are available, though it is though with a distinction worth noting. The Beyond the Looking Glass series, March of 2025, the 6 sessions tied directly to the new book, is listed as past with tickets no longer available. And I can't find, I'm sorry, I can't confirm these specific recordings are purchasable. However, the Perry Center does sell a bunch of recorded sessions through their shop, and there is closely related series called The Science of Wholeness that is purchasable right now with significant overlap in speakers and themes. And the 5 available recorded sessions at 10 pounds a pop. Does quantum theory reveal an underlying wholeness to reality? Dr. Jonathan Alday. Global consciousness manifesting meaningful structure in random data with Roger Nelson. Extending the Mind and Intending Matter with Dr. Alex Gomez Marin, and Holocentric Indigenous Consciousness with Ghost Horse. Teokasin Ghost Horse, Robert Toth, and Dr. John Briggs, the original surviving author, and Universe as Process. The All-Day and Briggs session in particular are directly relevant to the book at $10 each or 50 10 pounds each. Or that's a pound, right? No, that's not a pound. What is that?
Euro.
That's a euro. 50 euros for all 5 is very accessible for study group. I'd suggest going directly to perrycenter.com shop, also contacting them about whether the March 25 Beyond the Looking Glass recordings become available for purchase separately. The Perry Center typically archives their sessions. Richard, I wonder if in your next communication with Alday, you could find out if he knows if there's access to those particular sessions.
Well, yes, I could do that, but also perhaps even one better. I'm a member of the Perry Center, and a lot of these lectures that they do, then they put into um, kind of an expanded newsletter or news magazine. But they they issue that, of course, to members and explicitly suggest you don't pass it on. Um, but what I could do is I can go through David Pete's daughter, who was a major sort of player in the Perry Center, um, uh, and and also his widow is a major player. And I could go through them and say, is it possible, whether it's the recordings or the written magazine coverage, to be made available to a specified group such as ourselves
Wonderful.
at no cost.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's a possibility.
Are you complete?
Yes.
Thank you, Fred. Go ahead.
Can you share again the last page you turned
Yes.
off, please?
I sure can. Do you want me to paste it in the,
No, I want we all see it.
all right, I'll be glad to paste it in the chat too. In fact, these will all, all of these things I'm going to put in I don't know if you guys saw, but in preparation for this meeting, I sent out a PDF file showing the 4 books with all of the, in fact, maybe I will show you that next.
Oh, I've not seen it. Oh, okay, hold on.
Tell me
I'm
where you
reading
wanna-
last. I'm reading the last. No, don't move, don't move, don't move. It's all good.
Okay.
No. It's please go down a little bit.
All right, it's down all the way. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, is this the current availability or the last paragraph of the other thing?
Just down a little bit. Down a little bit. Just a little bit. There we
Right.
go. Stop. There we go. The last sentence says there's a small Tuscany-based institute and quite responsive to direct inquiries.
Yeah.
I think we should visit them
Well, and
in Tuscany, especially at this
Oh.
time of the year. It would be a nice place to go.
I think so too.
Okay, good.
It-
Okay, Manu, you buy the tickets, and then we'll all just join. You
Yes,
schedule the Uber.
Manu, we've got a decision. You do that.
Yeah. Lee's going to schedule the Ubers to get us to and from the airports, and Manu's buying the tickets, and we'll see you in Tuscany.
Are you
I don't get
taking
I
into
don't get
account the
the
distance?
I don't get the pasta.
What did you say, Manu?
Okay.
Okay, you'll buy 'em.
The ticket and the pasta are exchangeable goods. So we're gonna do some economics there. Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we have a connection with the Perry Center, with Richard being a member of the Perry Center. And I really like the idea of, at this point, choosing programming the universe for our Saturday night book on the basis subject to a final decision on Wednesday with Wayne and Susan present. And then we can read, I'm a chaos guy. We can decide to revisit Saturday on Wednesday as well, because everybody will be there and will likely be there. And so I think we're complete tonight. We can table conversations till Wednesday, take up the agenda. And the agenda is a proposal that, even though we selected living energies, the idea of perhaps changing to Looking Glass for Wednesday, based on the resources, and maybe by then, Richard, by Wednesday, it's possible that you could have a report from Perry Center. And that would be additional information we could discuss on Wednesday. Do you think you might be able to do something by Wednesday? I see Manu has his hand up. As soon as you're complete, Manu can talk. What about it, Richard?
Well, I can send a note and
Claude says they respond.
yeah. Oh no, yeah, they're very good. I started working with Eleanor Pete, and 2 or 3 years ago when I first started looking for Appella, Colorado, and I knew she had connections with Perry Center. And when I asked them, they said, "Oh, we're in contact with her all the time. We'll set up the connection." And then I lost contact with her after the Lahaina fires in Maui, because her home was burned to the ground and she lost everything. So they reconnected me again in terms of my search for a speaker this year, and she's on board, but she's just not available till early 2027. And then by sort of a serendipitous thing, I learned that they have a new volunteer chair in charge of something that's called Gentle Action. And Gentle Action is probably the last book that Pete wrote. And it's all about how do we, in a gentle, nudging way, move the world from, if you want, in Fuller's words, from weaponry to livenry. And his book sort of talks about how we can do this, but in a gentle way, as opposed to, I suppose, a fighting way or a revolutionary kind of way. Yeah. So I just got lucky that this guy showed up in my vision, and he happens to live about 2 hours south of where I live. And we've now had a physical contact. We met over coffee, and yesterday we met on a Zoom call as well to finalize the confirmation that Alday is keen on doing it. And then we started to pick possible dates that would work for him in the 2 week period he and his wife are here in Canada.
Well, I don't believe in luck. You can call it luck if you want to, but I think it's something else, and I'm grateful,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Cool. You complete?
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever you've posted there of some of that listing of the sessions that were presented at the Perry Center and recorded, just the names and the titles, then I can speak directly um, to Eleanor as to what we're interested in.
They are all listed in the chat. I did not number them, but they're there. They're separated by semicolons in the chat. Cool. You complete?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. So,
I'll just take them out then.
all right, good. Manu, you've been waiting patiently. What's your input here?
I think
But
based on this,
Manu, don't speak too loud. You'll wake Joe up.
Ow, that hurt. That hurt. I was meditating,
think-
Steve.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, kind of like that.
I'm sorry, Manu. I had no right to do that. Please continue.
I'm meditating.
Okay.
I'm meditating.
so I think that based on all the discussion and what we said, I'm revising my choice for Wednesday to Looking Glass Universe. The reason being that Wayne and Susan have to be on par with our discussion. If we are reading Programming Universe on Saturday, it will be good to have something that is in alignment with that from Wednesday.
I agree.
And then I'll put on Wednesday then Living Energies in the second.
Cool.
And then I'll buy for myself Regenerative Economics, see if you say it's easy to read, and do it on my own.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember reading some of his stuff when I looked at it a couple years ago, and he's very down to earth, very grounded. But I need you and Fred and Richard and Joe and Lee to help me understand programming the universe.
Okay. So that was what I wanted to say.
Good.
Thank you.
So are we in consensus then that we're going to go for programming the universe on a Saturday? Joe, you got your hand up. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I am in a consensus with that. And I thought you brought up the really important point is that, regenerative economics is something that we can read outside of here. I have another friend, Mark Buckley, that does a lot of work with Bucky, and he he has a book out too on regen, and I could even reach to him to kind of see, what I could learn from him in the case of regen. So there's resources out there. It's a little bit more practical, and that part can be, kind of covered. So I'm in agreement with, through the looking glass and programming the universe.
Cool. Looking glass on Wednesday morning, if with Wayne and Susan's consensus agreement, and then programming on Saturday night.
Yeah.
on the weekend call. Good. We have a consensus there. Fred, your hand is up. Thank you, Joe. You want to lower your hand when you're ready? Good. Go ahead, Fred.
I was
Oh,
sleeping,
you're
so I
muted.
can't do it.
Take that hand that you raised and just slap yourself in
Re-
the
re-
face a couple times.
Regarding the regenerative economics, maybe we could test run a new format with it. If 2 or 3 members of the group want to read it, maybe discuss it and extract the substance out of it.
Fred, you froze.
And maybe at the end of this book that one of the books that we're studying, maybe do a couple of sessions, maybe 5 sessions to extract the essences of this regenerative universe.
Yeah. And I think that's
Just
consistent.
just an idea throwing in the air.
I like it.
It might
And
be a
it's,
good idea. It might
and
not.
it's
I don't know.
consistent with Manu's idea of having like a term where we just examine a book over a 4 or 5 or
Yes,
6
yes,
week
yes.
period.
That's rebound on my news idea.
Exactly
That's correct.
perfect for regenerative.
Okay,
Good.
I'm done.
And Manu will have read it by then and he can conduct the week. This okay, good. I think we're good to
We'll
go.
do it in Tuscany.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do it in Tuscany, Manu. Just buy the tickets. We'll show up. We'll figure it out. Lee's buying the Ubers. Okay. So I'm going to say that we're all. Any last comments before we go into close? Joe, you're awake right now, so I want to ask you how you're feeling and what are your takeaways? No, Joe, I so much respect your energy. It's like 11:30 and they're in New York or Pennsylvania or wherever the hell you are right now, Connecticut, New Jersey. Where'd you move to?
I'm in Philadelphia. It's
You're in Philadelphia.
but yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock, and
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's been a long day. Started around 4:30, 5 o'clock, so a.m. So
You're my hero.
um, yeah, so it's
So how
been
you feeling and what are your
I'm
takeaways?
feeling pretty good, and I really like the pivot that we made. And kind of talking this through in a sense, and I really like the idea of having just a few sessions on regenerative economics to see afterwards, to see what people the one thing that we could do is we all have different experiences, even in our local experiences when it comes to economics. So we could actually talk about what works and what wouldn't work in one particular area. So I think having a 3 or 4 or 5 sessions on that would be good. However, I do think the idea of the looking glass through the looking glass and programming the universe they have fundamentals to them that are going to be really helpful in getting us to think a little bit more holistically. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this. I really am. I mean, I'm both of these books. I really think that it's going to build on a lot of the work that we've already done, and it's really gratifying actually when we see things um, that we've learned from Bucky manifest themselves in other areas and come together in other areas. Like even just the idea of being in and out, that was a real, interesting few weeks ago. And understanding that in consciousness, it's fantastic. So Lee, how are you feeling? And what are you taking away from today? I'm taking away your energy.
You can have my energy. I always develop more. I am doing really well. I'm all excited to learn. And I believe that you, very intelligent people that I have joined, know a whole bunch more than I could ever imagine. And I think your choices are perfect just because you're you. All of you have been doing this a lot longer than I have. I have been having fun. I love everybody's humor and frustration, even that. Uh, I get humor out of the frustration because it makes sense and it's funny. It really is funny. I hope that I get a chance to understand each and every one of you even more this new year. I'm excited. And I pass it over to you, Richard. Did you already talk?
No.
Okay. Go ahead. How are you feeling, Richard? And what is your takeaway?
Well, the excitement that I expressed at the beginning around the potential having uh, this Jonathan Alliday, the new director. He's just replaced the young person that was there before. It was Alex Gomez, which was one of the speakers mentioned in that summary. And I'm not sure what he's done, but he's moved on, and Jonathan has agreed to become that new director. So I'm really excited about being able to meet somebody in that new position, or somebody new in the position, and somebody who is going to be here in the next 6 months or so, and have a chance to meet him in person and be part of an event that I've been um, uh, thinking about and organizing through the University of Calgary and its 60th anniversary. So it's a great evening to know that book also ended up being a choice for all of us to read in our respective book club kind of meetings on Wednesdays and Thursdays, or Wednesdays and Saturdays. So thank you. uh, Manu, how are you feeling and your takeaway?
I'm really feeling happy. I'm happy to have gone through um, a scientific process, that espouses geometry of thought. Because when we started this process, I was somewhere, and I've evolved. And that to me is very important because I've made a decision here to buy all the 4 books. I also made a decision that I'm going to focus on my own on some of them together with others. And I think that the way we put the book, that is subjective now, espouses the context and will likely maximize the contributions of all the members that we have on Wednesday and on Saturday to enrich all of us growing after reading this book. And I think that's what we're after. And I think that is the basis for us to contribute the best that we can into improving whatever that we can in our environment and further. So that's the way I feel. And it's going to be the way I feel this Sunday. So, and it's very early here. It's like 6 in the morning. So it's going to be a good day for me. I trust in it. So, Fred, how do you feel? What do you take away?
Thank you, Manu. First, I have a question to Richard. This author, Bohm, is that the Bohmian discussion guy?
Yes.
Thank you. That's very exciting to see that because we just experienced a wonderful Bohmian discussion there. And I want to underline how grateful I am that you brought this to us and you made us live through it. And this was really wonderful. So that's a really good book that's going to get us closer, bring us closer to this person's thinking is a really good idea. And I'm also grateful for you, Richard, for holding your ground, standing in your power, and insisting that this was a good book for us, because I think you're completely right into pushing this, and that led us to make a right decision. I'm also extremely grateful to Stephen for being so diligent in doing the work, the research, and sharing it with us. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. And also, I'm very jealous that you got this out-of-the-box ID. You named it Chaos, to come back on our decision from last Wednesday. I was so happy we had the decision. So let's take it, put it aside, forget about it. But no, you took it back. You brought us back into it, and that was really the right thing to do. So I'm very jealous you did that and I did not. But I'll take it as a gift. It's like showing us how things should get done. Joe, I feel a bit sorry because I know you wanted so much the economics. I did not, and I'm happy we don't have it, but I feel bad that you don't have it. And somehow I feel happy that maybe at some moment at the end of this episode of books, you will come back and share with us the fruits of your reading through it. And maybe that's the best of all worlds there. And that's all I've got for you all. Thank you very much. Richard, you had something to react on what I was saying.
Yeah. I just forgot two things. One is that as far as a guest or a visitor, I think it may well be possible too that John Briggs would be available. And John lives on the east coast of the U.S. I think he's in Maine or Massachusetts or somewhere along that line. And I think he would be a very enjoyable visitor. And I have spent some time with him in preparation for an earlier meeting several years ago, and very engaging kind of person. So that's just an idea out there. The other one that I forgot to mention, which is kind of exciting because I started to try and introduce Bohm and Fuller and some of this kind of thinking, pre-GEMINI, to my students in the 80s, but mostly in the 90s. And I helped arrange for 3 students to take practicums in international locations. Two of them went to a hill tribe in northern Thailand, out from not far from Chiang Mai, and one went to southern India and Kerala. And we've stayed in touch. And last night, Friday night, we had a dinner together, and it's one of several we've had in recent years. But this dinner was actually celebrating the 30 years since those 3 students went off to these international placements, and and we stayed together because they are the legacy in some ways of what I was trying to impart to the students way back then, and they've kind of stuck with it. And they say they still have tetrahedrons running through their minds. So I just wanted to share that in terms of it was a special celebration night last night, having dinner with them. I'm through.
Thank you. Well, I will pass it on to Lee. Lee, how are you feeling? And
Lee went.
you've done it, Lee?
Yeah.
So who's left?
Just Steve.
Manu,
Just
Joe?
Steve.
My turn.
Only Steve left? Okay. Steve, how are you feeling? What shape are you in? And what is your takeaway for today?
I told you I was a tesseract before I got on here, and I told you that I was spinning on X, Y, Z, and W, and it just happens that's what chaos theory is about: is flipping things all around and inverting things. Now I'm really grateful. Many times I'll give those crazy ideas and they throw me out of the room. So, but it seemed to fit, and you guys seem to acknowledge we have I went. Okay, I'm here now. We have a consensus for our Saturday night reading, our weekend reading. I'm real excited about having all of our input on this programming universe, information theory, very critical, very foundational. And then whatever we do on Wednesday is going to be wonderful. And whatever we don't do now, we'll do later, including whatever we don't do now. So I'm so excited. This is, I have spent a little time on this. Thank you, Fred, for acknowledging that. I have very little faith that anybody opens those emails and opens those PDF files and looks at those things, but that's okay. I'm going to take quite a few pages of stuff here and build a little booklet, a little PDF again with a table of contents on it, so that you can identify the mission statements, you can identify what page each feedback is on about each book, and easily look at a table of contents to go back and find what you need without having to look through the whole damn thing. It's going to probably be close to at least 20 pages probably. And but it's the work I did to come together with this. And then I'll have that out before Wednesday. And I'm going to do what I can to warn Susan and Wayne, because I have a text going on with them, because Wayne's here in Salt Lake City and Susan's in on the same time zone. And oh no, it's the same time zone, except we have daylight saving times and they don't. As me and Richard and Wayne and Susan were all in the same time. So I'll let them know that we're going to have a little bit of a bonus discussion on Wednesday and see how they go for that. And hope I'm still friends with Wayne when we get done. So, so anyway, I'm so grateful for this group and for our perspective. And I feel special. And I look around at some of my friends and they aren't willing to have a discussion about anything that's of any value. It boggles my mind. So I'm so grateful to be here and be part of this and to have an idea every once in a while. Okay, I'm complete for tonight. Manu, you have your hand up if you want to make a final.
I just wanted to remind you that the links that you gave, two things. First, what you sent earlier in the week, the link, the upper link is not active. To watch the video.
If you
That's one.
If you find a link that's not active, just send me an email and say this isn't active, and I'll fix it within the next 4 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the second thing is that I'm sorry to put more pressure on you. You promised us the record.
I promised you the catalogs, and I've had so much fun with the Grok and Claude. I didn't do it. I will have them before the weekend. Before next weekend, you'll have it all.
Thank you.
It's my honor, by the way, to do that. So thank you. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.